what I just went over. So, for my online people, I'm sorry we did not know you could not hear me, but I shared that my name is Tamra Billings, and I'm with the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network, and I'm here with Miss Aimee Tait, who is our Tennessee representative with Defined Learning, and we are going to be sharing today some resources that are available to you as educators in the state of Tennessee free of charge, and these resources are Defined Learning and Elevate Tennessee. Quick recap of my agenda. We're going to talk about Defined Careers, which is a career exploration platform for grades K through 12. We'll talk about Defined Learning, computer science, again, a K through 12 resource that is pretty much project-based, but aligned to computer science standards. And then hopefully we'll get a chance to share with you what your access looks like, because access is different for everyone, depending on where you are and what district that you're in. And last but not least, we're going to talk about a site called Elevate Tennessee, another great career exploration resource that you can use in your classroom. And I turned it off. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we are again, just giving some background on how these resources came to be. Governor Lee launched his Future Workforce Initiative in 2019, calling some focus to different things around career exploration and technical education. And most schools, when they did that, they kind of focused on these areas. Their CTE programs, work-based learning and computer science opportunities, post-secondary STEM opportunities, and career exploration and advising. So through our partnership with the Tennessee Department of Education, we kind of looked at the landscape and said, hey, there are not enough resources that teachers have access to that they can use for the purpose of career exploration and advising, and that's how these resources came to be as resources for teachers in the state of Tennessee. So again, Defined Careers is going to be activities that are aligned to the 16 CCTE clusters, again for grade bands K through 12, and there are project-based activities that are embedded as well. You also have access to Defined Learning Computer Science, again, aligned to computer science standards, soon to be aligned to our Tennessee computer science standards, and they are project-based as well. All right, so I'm going to call Miss Aimee Tait on up front, and she's going to dive a little bit deeper into both Defined Careers and then Defined Computer Science, and then I'll be back to talk about Elevate Tennessee.
Thank you, Tam. Is my mic? Okay. I hope I can do all this. Thank y'all for being here. I know this is like we were kind of saying that it's after lunch. We just appreciate your attention and just being here with us to learn more about the resources that are provided to you through the generous work that TDOE has done and also through TSIN. So I am, again, Aimee Tait, and I support Tennessee for Defined Learning. So one of our goals also is to share the resources with you, just that so you know what you have, but then also make sure that you have access through your district. We do roster your students with this content, and so as you leave here today, we want to make sure, and I can also, one of our goals normally is just to make sure that you do have, you have the access, but you also have the opportunity to understand where we have webinars to onboard you, as well as ongoing support to make sure that you all have all the information that you need to begin with PBL, or maybe you all are like some of our friends here are designated this week. So congratulations to all of you, and we hope that these resources provide more access, more awareness in the world of careers. So how many of you know anything about Defined Learning? Yay, that's good. So we're going to start here with Defined Careers, and I just have a quick question. So, and you can just kind of think this through, because I love this question, but if you think about, what you wanted to be when you grew up, just think about that. And just a show of hands, is that what you became? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay. So in thinking about that, so you did thumbs down too? Okay. No, really, let us know, because it's true. I mean, these are the things, these are the awareness pieces that this is our focus. So, yeah, what is your job? See, who knew? Like, I would not have known that. I grew up in a very, very rural part of Virginia, and part of our mission at Defined Learning is career exposure and career awareness. Just a little bit about Defined Learning as a whole as a company. Our mission is to provide again, awareness as well as exposure and experience to more careers. We have our partners are Tait and Grant Wiggins. They are the philosophy behind Understanding by Design. And you'll see the Tait content throughout our performance tasks. So we use his model, and performance tasks are through the lens of careers. So everything that we do at Defined is through the lens of a career. So as Tamra was mentioning earlier, you do have access to computer science, grades K-12. That is our standards aligned resource that is that again is aligned through the performance task through the lens of careers. Defined Careers is also, again, a K-12 resource that you have access to. Just for context, as I know there are a lot of different grade levels and different resources in here, resource folks in here, where we're seeing this used is in that career exploration course, also with counselors. Metro Nashville had a really, really great opportunity to use this for, the Dean of Instruction shared that he was using this for students who had been expelled and didn't have a resource to give them more awareness and the exposure to careers that they might not have been exposed to. So there's a lot of applications. This is very, very student-led. While you do have the opportunity to interact, assign, message, you can utilize this in a whole group, but you do have that opportunity for students to continue their awareness by exploring the site on their own. Actually, see, I talk over myself a lot. So within Defined Careers, this is, again, everything we do is project-based learning. This is, as I was sharing, teacher-led. It's access to a library of over 500 careers. We add to these careers. Right now, we're doing a lot around coding about ChatGPT. So there's a lot of things, anything ahead that's coming. We want to prepare students for those 21st century skills, but those 22nd, 23rd century jobs that are going to be out there that we have to continue supporting them with awareness. There's also a demo class in this site for you all, so you can impersonate a student. So you can stay right in resource as you're learning about the site as well. So again, career navigation. We believe at Defined Learning, you can't be what you can't see. Kind of what I was sharing. I didn't know that that was a job. I mean, I know it now, but as a student growing up in very rural Virginia, I kind of knew what my dad did and I knew what my mom did, but I really didn't know a lot outside of my world. And so it took, me doing all the things to try to get to a place where I could understand that there was a lot more jobs out there that are available to me. So it's, it's our obligation that we feel to make sure that students are aware that it's not just, healthcare, it's not just a doctor or a nurse. There's so many other jobs that they can get within that field. So again, career navigation, self-knowledge, and again, leading them to a future. Doesn't have to be a four-year school. There's a lot of opportunities that students have and people have to continue their education without having a four-year degree. But if that's what they're doing, that's what this site also prepares them for. So again, career navigation, we do believe that and studies have shown that people who do develop and have awareness and education and career navigation knowledge, they do have a better experience. They have a better experience even in even in the elementary school. They start to become aware, become curious, and that's what we want to keep that curiosity and interest going around. How does this our world work? How does a food truck get its food? What's the logistics behind that? Even music, that's a bunch of math. So there's a lot of things that we continually want students to be aware of throughout their exposure. We have both resources, a high-quality PBL framework. This is, again, you're going to see in both resources, we have gold standard PBLs. John Larmer, who is also our advisor, our VP of Innovation, he started the Buck Institute. So he's written the gold standard. So he oversees our content and makes sure that we are continually keeping to a standard that is really high for our students and the impact we have for them. Defined careers. We do want to show you this live, but also just because you have two other resources to show, we'd love to get your information today and be able to make sure that you have access into this through your integration system in your district. Define careers, you're going to see a pathways matching assessment. This is a triangulated assessment for studies, values, and interests. It recommends courses for the students to then explore. Then there is career exposure. So within those pathways, they start to learn about other careers. Then they do exploration. This is where they start working in their PBL in this course. And then the career product and portfolio. So as students are learning and becoming aware of other careers out there, this is creating a portfolio for them. There's an opportunity for to create a profile of a graduate, if you all have those in your schools. Students to create resumes, have virtual internships. There's a financial literacy component also within this site. We want them to continually see the awareness of various careers, but then also how do I then get to this job? Where do they offer this school? Where is this school offered? How much am I going to make doing this? How much is the state going to take out taxes? I'd love to have known that back in the day. So again, just so you're aware of what defined careers does, we're aligned to the clusters and the pathways, and again, there's over 500 careers that are represented. You can filter these, you can assign these, but again, students have the opportunity to explore on their own, and it continually allows for them to see the next career, and then if they like that career, create a product in that career, but then also, how do I get to the next stage? Just to share this, all of our content is pulled from ONET, so that if the students are looking at specific salaries and job outlook, this is all from ONET. The pathways match the assessment. We will also, so we do have this triangulated assessment for them. You do not have to take this assessment. Coming in September, we'll also have an aptitude. A portion of this will also have an aptitude. It will not directly correlate to the pathways because we want their triangulated experience to do that, but we have the opportunity to have an aptitude test and defined careers as well. This just kind of shows you a little bit about what it looks like in the assessment. I'm just kind of also making sure the online folks can see what these look like. They have to go through this. And then we would have done a live demo. But that is kind of a really brief, quick overview of defined careers because there is a lot of content in it. Also coming in August, you'll also have the ability to have the Common App. Are all of you aware of what Common App is? No? So Common App for high school apparently is like the mecca of being able to put all of your college applications into one application, and then it actually goes out and applies at all the colleges that you have selected. So apparently, if you have kids yourself, you should utilize that because apparently it's awesome. So are there any questions before I just change into defined learning, computer science? Common App. Mm-hmm. Common App is a company. It's a company that is, it's its own company, and a lot of schools have partnered with it, but it will be in resource for you all. They upload, I guess, their new companies in August. That's why we'll be added in August. So okay, I hear it's a lifesavers, right? That's good. That's why we partner with them to be able to make everything in one kind of place. And again, the portfolio, they continually also have their 21st century skills are also added to their portfolio. Their portfolios are really just obviously the next step. So, but we do want them to also have virtual internships. You can add those locally too as well. So we encourage you to do that. We also onboard this resource, so you are not alone in this endeavor. We do have standing webinars for summer school content. If you're using our summer school content, there's a folder in your instance, but you'll have also ongoing launch for the fall with defined careers. So just to kind of pivot and I want to make sure you all get enough time with this resource as well as Elevate, because these are really amazing resources that will be lifesavers for you as well. I can't do all this. Computer science. Now, this is our big focus, and we believe everybody is a computer science teacher. We can all benefit from learning more and more about the computer science work that is in our state, and I've learned certainly a lot about computational thinking. So when you think about computational thinking, this is where you'll find the Defined Learning resource for y'all. You've got it K-12, and This is what the collection looks like. They're in courses, and you're going to see it's all represented here. Once you launch into this, you're also going to see the computer science project connections. So once you launch into defined learning, again, this is the standards aligned project-based learning catalog portfolio that you have access to. Within defined careers, this is a little bit more teacher-led. You would use this in curriculum, in collaboration with the other resources that have been, either your school has chosen to use or that the TSIN and TDO have provided. I've seen a lot of really great collaboration with code.org and the Kira high school content. So you do have a catalog of computational components to the defined learning content. So these are the outlines. These are all also in resource. So as you're working through one of your PBLs, each unit will have 2 to 3 projects. Those are careers that you can explore with your students. Each of those projects have 2 to 3 products that the students can create through that GRASP model, which is the J. McTighe and Grant Wiggins. You give a student a role, a goal, a role, an audience, a situation, and then ultimately a product so that they can experience what it's like to create something in that job. So hopefully we'll inspire them to do more with that role. We could also, again, this is the website. I want to make sure that you all have access to it. We won't walk through it here. But this is kind of just our philosophy holistically through TSIN and also at Defined. We just really want to inspire and cultivate the next generations of creators, thinkers, and doers. And this is, again, our mission at Defined Learning. Throughout all of our resources, you're going to see that, that model of apply and transfer knowledge. We want to make sure that we are also continuing that curiosity, inspiring students to think differently, bigger, and make sure that they have options and awareness to all the careers that are out there and available to them. So does anybody have any questions? That was a really quick overview of both of those resources. But again, you are not alone in this endeavor. We do have support within resource, but also we do onboarding webinars for each of your districts. We also will do that if you have a group of teacher leaders or like yourselves here doing here, if you want to have your own webinars just to get started or implementation tips. We're happy to do those as well. We want to make sure that you all are very comfortable when you launch this at any time, that you've got all the resources you need. So again, I'm Aimee Tait, and I'm going to hand it back to Tam to talk about Elevate, which is another resource, unless you all have any questions. And if you stay after, we kind of thought maybe what we would do is just also maybe go live if there's time, if anybody has any questions. What school are you with? Yes, yes, it is. I worked with you, before. I've worked with your school before.
And the question was, is this available to private schools? And what was your answer again, Aimee?
So originally with our partnership, we made it available to public schools, but a lot of our wording was to all schools. So if you do have interest, our philosophy is we want the usage for students because we believe in the impact. So our philosophy is if you would like to use the resource, then absolutely we want you to have access to it. So normally in a different situation, in different states, we do, everybody kind of individually purchases on their own, but because of our partnership with DOE and TSIN, we are happy to offer private schools the opportunity to work with our content. So that's good.
So on that note, I got an email today. So essentially the computer science element, defined careers. So the computer science element as well as the defined careers, TSIN will continue to partner with to provide for everyone, but defined learning is kind of its own.
So the defined learning, computer science, K-12, you have access to. Defined learning, which is defined careers as well. You've got you have that also at K-12. Oh, yes, yeah. So one of the things that we've done, and so as we are working towards creating that focus and partnership with the state around the career, that focus, the focus kind of was enhanced to be able to offer defined careers, K-12, and so that's limited the 5-8. So we did have the opportunity to add the K-5 and defined careers, whereas before you had it for, so now you've got a continuum of K-12 defined careers and K-12. computer science. So if you do have questions on the 5-8, you can just work with me on it. Oh, sorry.
If you want to set up a webinar for your grade level or school, how would you go about, who would you contact you?
So you can contact me.
Okay, through email or
Yes.
What's the best way?
Through email or calling me, we're going to have so if you would like to set up a webinar to get started, which, yay, I'm excited. Brandy, thank you. We're happy to do that. That's what we want. We want to make sure y'all have access. So you can email me, and I'll set that up through our team. We're going to show my contact up here, but
Yeah, we originally had an access slide here.
Yeah, we
So
did.
we're just planning, impromptu to just share with you what access looks like, and then again, like Aimee said, when we get to the very end of the presentation now, you'll see her information, and that's how you would learn about your access. If you reach out to Aimee at her email address, we on the back end do a little research on what your access looks like, depending on what district you're in, and then we get back with you what access looks like. Because some of us have access through through Google, through Clever. It's about 4 of them. What's the other 2?
So we roster your content through
ClassLink, that's one.
ClassLink. And if you do have Schoology, we do roster through Schoology as well. So just keep it in mind. We've got magicians behind the scenes. A lot of times they are incredibly apt at creating the pathway. But we traditionally work with Clever, ClassLink, and Google Classroom. But we added Schoology this year as well.
Right.
And Canvas. So for MTSU, I'm sure that's.
Oh,
College
thank you.
students.
Information's
Oh,
there.
Knox uses Canvas.
So, reach out to myself or Aimee, and we'll make sure that you get your access. All right. So now we're ready to jump into Elevate Tennessee. So Elevate Tennessee is another awesome resource that we have available to educators, again, free of charge in the state of Tennessee. We kind of promote this as a resource for grades 8 through 12 simply because most students start to get into those CTE courses once they get into middle school. But this is actually an open site that anybody can create an account for. So if you're an elementary school teacher and you're interested, in which you should be, hopefully, in doing some career exploration activities with your students, you could use this site as a tool to do some guided activities or maybe show them some videos that are on the site related to different careers. So even though it's, again, for 8 through 12 here, it is an open website that anybody can get access to. It is for grades 8 through 12. We want this to be sort of like the next level, meaning after students have that interaction with career exploration with defined learning, once they get to middle school and high school, we want them to move on to this next level where they get the option inside of Elevate Tennessee to earn some industry-recognized badges. So you're going to see inside of Elevate Tennessee that there are different modules or courses that students can take related to careers, and they'll learn different skill sets. And if they master this little test that comes at the end, it's about 10 questions, then it populates an industry-recognized badge that goes on to their resume. There's also a feature on here where students can search and apply for local jobs and for internships. So again, just that next level after students use defined learning to advance their career exploration opportunities. So this is a video, and it should work, where we're going to show you a quick peek inside of Elevate Tennessee.
Employers need great people. People need great jobs. Ignite the workforce potential in your community. There is a skills gap in America. There are millions of unfilled jobs and millions of adults unprepared to fill them. Bridge that gap by providing the workforce with access to exceptional education, training, job opportunities, and professional networks in their community. Our global competitiveness hinges on the education of our workforce. Our workforce development platform links recruitment, skill building, and career navigation into one system, deliverable online or offline, and via web or mobile app. It provides a unique solution for communities to close workforce gaps by sharing on one connected platform the data and activities of job seekers, employers, colleges, chambers of commerce, and workforce boards.
Okay, so for the sake of time, I'm gonna keep us moving forward so we can make sure that you guys get access. But if you look at the screen here, there's a lot of different things that are some highlights for students or things that they can do on this site, and we have them listed here. There's that interest assessment that they'll have as soon as they log onto the site, where they'll be asked different questions about things that they like to do or things that they're good at or interested in. And after they take that assessment, then they're kind of aligned to careers that best fit their personality. And then there's a ready-to-use resume that I talked about that they can continue to build and earn industry-recognized badges as they're on the site. And again, they can update their resume as they need to, and of course, continue to earn those badges that will populate to their resume. There's local career exploration. There's the connection to those ONET occupational competencies, post-secondary pathway awareness. And of course, if they're 16 and older, we encourage them to look at those active internships and jobs that are posted right there on the website. Some highlights for educators is that direct connection to local industry. You can assign different modules to students, so you can create an account as a teacher, and then students create their student account, and they can be attached to you so that you can monitor the things that they're doing, and of course you can assign different modules to them. Again, it's an occupational teaching tool, and the way that it's a teaching tool is that it has these different career card videos, and it's for over 500 different occupations where you get a 2 to 3 minute look inside of a particular career, and you have a person from that career just talking about what they do on a day-to-day basis in that career. And again, those higher education connections with a lot of the careers you'll see at the bottom of the page, it tells you what higher education or pathways that you can take if you're actually interested in that career. So it gives the kids some insight into what path they need to take or what schools they need to go to in order to obtain that career. All right, so the next few slides are just kind of showing you what the site looks like. If you've used Elevate Tennessee in the past, it looks a little bit different now. So hopefully it's easier to navigate. But what you'll see on the next few slides is just some screenshots of some of the features that are inside the site. So there's this particular feature called Watch Videos. And in the Watch Videos features, students can explore different videos that are aligned to different content and career clusters. There's the Explore Learning tab, and that's where you're going to find all of those different modules that students can take. Educators can assign these courses, like I said, especially if they go in and create a class, and students can take the classes or modules that you assign to them. All right, there's Explore Careers, and that's where you're going to see those career card videos. So this one here is the registered nurse video. So again, it's one of those pages that has a lot of information. It's going to give you the salary range. It's going to give you the career cluster, talk about career pathways and how you get into that particular career field. And then again, that 2 to 3 minute video clip that just tells you a little bit more details about what it takes to get into that career. And it's personal because it's from someone who's actually doing that particular career. The Explore Jobs tab is where you're going to find all of those current and updated jobs from the U.S. Jobs Board. And again, if students are 16 and older, we encourage them to use that. If they are qualified for some of the jobs out there, go ahead and apply for them, okay? And last but not least, we have a feature where you can host a virtual career fair. If you go to the event scheduler and you fill out some basic information, that information comes to me, and then I will reach out to you, and we can work together in setting up a virtual career fair that will be hosted right there on the site. That is a feature that many people don't use, but I encourage you to fill that form out, and we can get in contact with each other, and you can host this virtual career fair, and not only can students in your class participate, but maybe you can do like a school-wide thing where everybody in the school can log on and participate. The other great thing about the career fair feature is that it's recorded, so whatever fair that you set up is going to be recorded and there on the site, and it's there for other educators to bring their students on and see as well. So I encourage you to use that feature and reach out to me, and we can work together in setting up your virtual career fair. All right, so these are some duplicate slides. And we're going to go straight into creating an account. If you have not already created an account with Elevate Tennessee, I'm going to try to walk you through those steps right now. So you can pull out your cell phone or if you have your laptop, and we're just going to walk through how you create your account. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to www.elevatetn.org. And you're going to select Register Now under Register as a educator, counselor, or coach. So that's the one right here on the end. Again, if you want students to be linked to you in a classroom where you can assign modules and things like that and see their progress, that's definitely the account that you want to set up. After that, you're going to select K through 12 students. And then an intake form is going to come up, and you have to fill out that intake form. Once you fill out that intake form, there's another step where I verify your account as a teacher, and then you will get an email back that has a code that you will give to your students. And, of course, they'll come on here and do the same thing, but, of course, they'll select student, and they would just take that code that links them to you. And there's a little tab at the bottom for them. Their last step is to put in that code, and it links them to your account as a teacher. And so this slide just explains those steps, same steps that you went through, but again, they choose student, and then, of course, they put in your teacher code. All right, so I'm going to pause right here for questions. Any questions about Elevate Tennessee?
How long would this course last? Would it support a quarter or a semester? How much material?
Oh, there's plenty of material. So if you wanted to use it, yeah, if you wanted to use it for the year, you could use it. To nail down a little bit more, my experience, it just depends on the activity or the lesson. Some of the modules could take you maybe a 45-minute class period. I've had one that looks like it takes about 3 class periods. So, but there's plenty of content, meaning beyond that one lesson, there are more modules and activities that you can do. Good question. Any other questions?
Does Elevate ever intend to kind of go beyond the USA Jobs to connect with some other kind of job and workforce experiences?
So currently, no, there are no efforts in place to do that, but we are open to suggestions, meaning that I meet with them quite often, and we're always trying to change and innovate and make things better. So, got any ideas, please reach out to me. Any other questions? All right. So, I am going to just kind of wrap us up. Again, these slides were duplicated yesterday, y'all, so forgive me. I know you're like, is she crazy? These are the same slides. I just want to wrap us up by mentioning again that I am the relationship manager that is in charge of the career exploration and advising resources. So if you have any issues with these resources, or if you need information about these resources, or if you need to be put into any type of webinars to help you with this resource, remember, me and Aimee are just an email away. You can reach out to either one of us at our email address, and we'll be sure to get you the support that you need. All right, looks like we're wrapping up a little early, so that's my time. We're going to be, of course, hanging out here until 1:35, so if you have any other questions, feel free to come and ask us, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for being here.